But no, I'd like to call the August meeting of the Edison Library Board to order. Let the minutes reflect that it is 7:05 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, as required by the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by notices given to Tap Into Edison, the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Sentinel, and News India Times, posted on the library boards, bulletin boards, and website, and given to the Township Clerk's office. This is an electronic meeting under the terms of Public Law 2020, Chapter 11. Persons wishing to comment should send an email to edisonboard@lmxac.org. Roll call, please.
Mr. Aristani? Ms. Krause?
Present.
Ms. Massey?
Here.
Ms. Mead? Ms. Mead? You're muted. Yep. Okay. Ms. Mead? Mr. Naik? Mrs. O'Neill?
Here.
Ms. Peng? Ms. Ruane?
Here.
And Mr. Yee?
Yeah.
Hello, this is Shannon.
Hello, Shannon.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
The screen is showing 7 present, 6 people have responded to the roll call.
Yes.
Quorum is present.
Right, I see.
It sounds like Fiona is having problems with her audio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, hopefully she is able to connect. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes, the July 14th, 2020 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have, do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll move we approve the minutes of July 14th.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Aristani? Ms. Krause?
Yes.
Ms. Massey? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Ms. Mead? Mr. Naik? Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Peng?
Yes.
Ms. Ruane?
Yes.
Mr. Yee?
Yes.
And Ms. Massey is supposed to go last, so
Yes, yes, I had voted yes.
6 board members responded yes.
Thank you. Has everyone hopefully had an opportunity to review the minutes from the July 21st meeting? And if so, do we have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
And a second?
Second it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Fiona.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm glad you were able to get on. We're just at the minutes now, July 21st.
All right. I'll pull those up.
All right, if we could have a roll call vote on those July 21st minutes.
Mr. Aristani? Ms. Krause?
Yes.
Ms. Mead?
Yeah.
Mr. Naik? Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Pang?
Yes.
Ms. Ruane,
Yes.
Mr. Yee,
Yes.
Ms. Massey.
Yes,
7 yes.
thank you. All right, now we have the trustee account report. Hopefully everybody had a chance to review that. Are there any questions?
No, but can't we please get commas?
Well,
All right. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, let's move on to the approval of the bill list. Hopefully everyone had a chance to review the bill list. Do we have a motion to approve?
I apologize. I don't see the bill list.
The bill list was sent out. It was sent out.
on Monday.
It does not have a heading on it.
Yeah, it was sent out on its own.
What was the
Earlier.
title?
Does not have a.
It was sent out on Monday.
It was sent out on Monday. Sorry.
Yeah, but Keith, can we also put a, like August 20th bill listing on it?
Okay.
August 2020 bill listing. Instead
Right.
of just, you know, so I know which one it is when I look, if I have to look back at it.
Mhm.
Where is the bill list?
The
Okay.
bill list, yes, it was emailed out. You might find it under the original
Oh,
email.
I see it. I see it.
I saw it here. I found it.
Okay, so I'll give you a minute to just take a look at it.
I'm guessing all the COVID-19 supplies for 7,800 is for like plexiglass and
That's it.
Right.
Our biggest, largest bill is that, what is it? This LM, what is that one? In the second page, digital content supplemental covering. That's 1 year, right?
LMXAC,
Yeah.
that is Libraries of Middlesex County, the consortium.
Mhm. And we contract with them for Hoopla and a few other things. So that's mainly an annual subscription to Hoopla, which we increased this year in response to being closed back in March, and we've continued to increase to some extent.
Okay. Is the check date correct? It's August 20th?
Right. That's because once the board approves it, then it goes to the township and it gets reapproved by the council. And that's the
Okay.
date of the check that the township will send out.
Any other questions?
Just a request that for the future, if you don't mind, if you could add line numbers so that as we're talking about different items, we can say what line number they are and easily reference it.
Okay.
Okay.
The, on the second page, the first line, there is a, I was trying to understand this item. Overdrive, like 49 ebooks and 8 audiobooks.
Yes.
That's like $1,700.
Yes.
What is that? Is that like 50, something like 50 books, or I'm trying to understand what's that one for?
It would be ebooks and in some audits, some publishers charge quite a bit of money, more so than they do for print. So in order to get certain popular titles electronically, you have to pay a premium. All experts do.
Is that like, the one-time charge and, or it's going to be like, charge every year for this kind of e-books or audiobooks?
That is just for those 57 titles.
So what I mean is that, say next year, do we have to pay again for these 57 books or titles?
No.
I mean,
For most publishers, no. This is a one-time charge. There is one publisher that's, if I recall correctly, after 26 circulations, it automatically disappears from your collection, and you have to repurchase it.
okay.
Just to clarify, I know because print books, they age as people borrow them, so they have a natural shelf life. After a certain amount of time, they just fall apart. So there's just so many times a library can circulate a book before it's thrown away or etc. So publishers are trying to do the same thing with ebooks, which is why they have a limit for some of the books, like Keith just explained, that after a certain number of loans, they'll just disappear. And we only have a certain number of reads to each book because they're trying to do it like a print book, that after a certain number of reads, it falls apart and you have to buy a new one. Or why they charge extra for it.
Yeah, we understand understand difference. I mean, it's just like for different models, we're trying to figure out the price, like whether it's reasonable or not.
The average price
Okay.
for that selection was $29.79.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the bill list?
I'll make a motion to approve the bill list.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Aristani? Ms. Krause?
Yes.
Ms. Mead?
Yes.
Mr. Naik? Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Peng?
Yes.
Ms. Ruane?
Yes.
Mr. Yee?
Yes.
Ms. Massey?
Yes.
7 yes, 2 absent.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the director's report. Hopefully you all had a chance to review that. Keith, was there anything that you wanted to add?
Nothing new to report. No. Nothing new to add under boards. Nothing under finances, buildings and grounds. Safety committee, we convene that group to go over the initial review of our buildings and grounds. On reopening, we are open at Main and at North for 38 hours per week each, and we're going to maintain that schedule to Labor Day. Due to staffing and other constraints, we're not going to reopen the Clara Barton branch until after Labor Day. And we're hoping to open for additional hours after Labor Day, including some Saturday hours and more evening hours. But that all depends on how the pandemic is going. Other than that, things have been going well. We've been supplying new books to people. We've been buying them all along. As I said before the meeting, what I'm hearing from my fellow library directors is that people have not come swarming back to the library, that crowds have been thin so far, but there is an increased use of electronic resources across the board.
Hi, I'm Vasant here.
Hello, Vasant.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm struggling to get in. I don't know. It's either my phone or something. So how's everyone is doing good?
Good. It's good to hear from you. Good you were able to join.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope everyone is good and their families is doing good. Yeah.
Yes, you as well. We're
Yeah, thank you.
discussing the director's report at this time.
Oh, great. Yeah, please go ahead. I'll be on mute. Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Library construction bond grants, nothing new to report. They are in the review phase of that at the State Library. We don't expect to hear anything until September at the earliest. Cleaning service?
Is the delay, I'm sorry, Keith?
Yes.
Does the delay have anything to do with COVID, or is that just something, that's just something that it's a normal occurrence?
Regarding the grant process?
Yeah.
The original plan was that they were going to report to the legislature in September with a list of approved projects. So they're still holding to that schedule. Because the legislature has changed the year, and they're going to be meeting September, figuring out fiscal 2021 budget. I don't think they'll be on the library grant applications in September, and traditionally in October the legislature doesn't meet, so it'll probably be November before this definitive action. Cleaning service has been approved. We're waiting to sign a contract for them to begin. The older of the two vans broke down, brake pads, things like that. It's about 15 years old. It's probably at the end of its useful life. It's certainly not efficient anymore. But we have budgeted for a new van, so we'll start the process to replace that vehicle.
Yeah, I think we actually approved that last year anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then on number 6 on buildings and grounds, just a notice that the Township Council passed a resolution at their last meeting asking the Planning Board to investigate the area around the Edison train station as an area in need of redevelopment. So if not in that area immediately adjacent to it, we should keep our eye on that. And that was all I had for buildings and grounds. Under services, we had the network failure on July 27th. Fanshan Ning, the branch head at Clara Barton, has been filling in as our tech person, and she's been working with the township and Jim DeVico. We had resources who did work for us last year in. Their report is that our network is in worse shape than we thought, and we're going to need to put some money into it. We were closed for Tropical Storm Isaias. Bookmobile Task Force met last Friday. I don't have anything to report yet. Hope to have something for the next meeting. Clara Barton Task Force, I did send you that report.
Yes.
Everything that the staff believes needs improvement. It also includes some commentary from a citizens committee that met, I think, about 2 years ago. Any comments about the report, or
Keith, in the, this is Shona.
This is
In
Shannon.
the third paragraph, it says the branch manager reported that after a heavy weed of the collection, I don't know. Can you correct that?
Weeding is what librarians term.
Right.
That's how we term when we withdraw materials from the collection. It's called weeding.
Okay, I thought it meant to say weed, and I'm like, there's a heavy weed? Okay.
That's a good question. Very good question.
Yeah. Mhm.
Keith, this is Shannon.
Yes.
Jargon.
Hello?
Yes, Shannon?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Just
Hello.
wondering if anybody can hear me, if I'm on mute or something. Yeah, Keith, on service number 8, would you mind explaining a little bit? Is Dr. Brigham going to assign designating a new staff member as liaison? I can't
Let me
hear
get to that in a couple of minutes. Let's finish up the Clara Barton report first. We're on number 5 at the moment, the Clara Barton report.
No.
Now, some of what's proposed in there is structural, some of it is programmatic. You may want to wait on arrival of the new director to act on some of these things. Others have, you could authorize the painting of the building. I'm not sure it's been done since the addition was put on in, 2003? At least I think longest serving board member might recall if it's been in her tenure.
Can't hear you clearly. Is it because
Yeah, the sound quality is not the best.
Let me see if I can do things in the background. Is this any better?
That's better.
Okay.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
So we're on item number 5, the Clara Barton Task Force report. And as I was saying, some of those recommendations are programmatic, others are structural, and you may want to wait until the new director gets here before you act on any of those. Lisa, as the longest serving board member, may recall when the last time the building was painted. Probably in 2003 when the addition was made. But
Lisa,
mm-hmm.
do you have any recollection of when it was painted last?
You're muted.
I hit mute. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
I don't remember when we painted it last. I remember we did do upgrades a few years ago. I know Esther Nimitz would remember better than I do. When we last made improvements, and it might have been painted then. Honestly, we were always more concerned about the big things like the windows and casings and things that if it was discussed, I don't remember it.
Well, the main report that was done in 2012 was explicit about getting the work started, done then. That still is what we're working on now. And that was back in 2012.
Right,
It had to have been before that.
But yeah, so painting could have been done anytime in there. I don't think it would have been a big ticket item to really be, definitely come across the board.
Okay.
Depending on how big the project was.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's anything you want me to proceed with on that, let me know, and we'll start getting quotes and estimates.
So I apologize. It might have been lost when I was having trouble understanding you. What exactly is it needs painting, but is there a problem with the paint or?
No, we were talking about the whole report, and some of the items we can actually start right away, and others we should just hold off until the new director arrives.
So I personally don't have a problem if you want to paint now. Especially if the building is closed now, might be an ideal time to do it.
Yes.
The exterior.
Even so, it still might be a good time.
Okay, we'll look into that.
That's good.
Otherwise, it'll be teed up for the new director to deal with when she or he gets here. Item number 6, the website is proceeding on schedule. Hopefully by the time we have our September board meeting, it will have been up and running. And the preliminary view of it, it's going to be a major improvement.
Great.
Report on number 7, and then item number 8 regarding the schools. I met with Dr. Bragan last week, and there is another meeting scheduled for tomorrow morning in the mayor's office with him, the head of recreation, and a number of other people regarding what are we going to do with students once school starts, but they're not going to be in school as they have been in the past. And I think
So what is, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was asking, have they decided what they're going to do with the schools come September? Is it going to be remote learning, or are they going into the buildings, or shortened weeks, shortened days?
My recollection is that those parents who have opted to send their kids to school, which is about, I think 25% of the parents are sending their kids to school, and the others will be taught remotely.
Yeah, even for those who's going to school, they're going to have the afternoon. They're going to do the afternoon at home remotely.
Okay.
Even
So,
for those 25%.
right. Mm-hmm. Our concern here at the library is that traditionally, and this happens in all communities, the children leave school, they go to the library, and after having been in class for the previous 7 or 8 hours, they're ready to kick back for a while, and they come to the library and hang out with their friends. A lot of them do homework, but a lot of them just want a place to be. And that always causes problems. Now we're looking at a larger group of children coming to the library, and if we can barely handle what used to happen, when we were sure that we're not going to be able to handle the hordes that would come in under this changed schedule. So we're looking to cooperate with other township agencies. We can come up with a coordinated solution to do something with the children of Edison when they're not in class.
Keith, personally, I don't think, I mean, maybe it's just me, I don't foresee that we're going to have a big problem, because even for those 25%, they still have to go home and work on the afternoon sessions.
Mm-hmm.
They want to go to library, their parents either have to send them or they have to be, close by to walk there.
But Shannon, a problem that they've had in the past is the kids who are close by. So the kids who are at TJ, the kids who are at John Adams or JP Stevens are all in walking distance, and they do go after school, especially for latchkey kids whose parents are not home. A lot of them use the library as a place for the kids to go instead of going to an empty house. So a possible problem that I can foresee, that I'm sure Keith is thinking of, is that kids who don't have parents at home, whose parents are working, the parents might say it's safer for you to go to the library, don't come home. And these kids will go to the library waiting for their parents to come home, which is historically what has happened in the past, which is why we hired the security guards in the first place, because there were too many kids who were coming to the library for lack of another place to go.
And with social distancing, we won't be able to have as many people in the building after school as we did in the past.
Right.
Yeah. Can we just, set a limit of the numbers? Students coming, and after that number, just like those, what they do in stores, then you can't get into the library after.
But then you have an issue of who is going to supervise those children, those students who are outside. And currently, we don't even have tables set up in the library. That patrons are not encouraged to linger, just to come in, take what, get what you need, and then leave. So, there are a number of things that need to be discussed. So it is good that you're meeting tomorrow.
Yeah. One more thing, Keith, Vasant here. I have a question. After opening the library, have we found any employee or anyone has any infection of COVID-19 or any? Because why I'm raising this concern, because recently I visited a couple of DMVs because of my son
bought a car, so I had to visit there, and they were closed because one or two employees got, infected by the COVID-19. So have you found anything
No.
like this in our 3 libraries? No. Okay.
One staff member had a relative who was suspected of being exposed and quarantined for 2 weeks. But it turned out that his father had not been exposed, so he was actually okay.
Okay.
So our staff has been
Okay,
amazingly healthy.
Correct. Because the recent report which is coming from the school opening is more than 100K kids got infected already. So in a different towns of United States. So we had to be little bit be careful, and I'm concerned about it. And I believe you all will be concerned about it. Yeah.
We are.
Yes, definitely.
Keith, I just want to, clarify something. This staff member that's going to be appointed by Dr. Bragan
Yeah.
as the liaison, has that already happened? I haven't heard anything, and I just don't know, if that's already happened, or is it?
He hasn't gotten back to me with the name yet.
Huh? Sorry.
He hasn't. Dr. Bragan hasn't gotten back to me with a name yet.
Is this liaison also might be, replace me for the board meetings, or is this just?
No.
Oh.
This is staff to staff. This has nothing to do with the governance of the library.
No, just because it's also called liaison, so I don't know. Or so.
Right.
All right.
No, most public library systems crave a relationship with the schools, so that there's coordination on assignments and off days for the teachers, so that we'll know when we need to lay on extra staff because the kids won't be in class. It's a completely different relationship from the legal relationship that says that the superintendent of schools is a ex officio member of the library board.
Okay.
Any other questions about my meeting with Dr. Bragan? Item number 9, computers on hold. And item number 10 about e-circulation for the listening public. E-circulation from March through June in Edison was up 57.5% over the same period last year. And that was one of the highest percentages in the Libraries of Middlesex Automation Consortium. Numerically, it was over 10,000 items that we increased.
That's excellent.
So people are responding to our offerings online. All right, moving on to personnel items. You have a list of the vacancies and where they stand, list of staff changes or absences. Item number 3, as I've been going through the records here, one of the things that I noticed is that the security guards who are not in either of the unions have not had their rate of pay increased since at least mid-2017, 3 years ago. So I'm recommending a 50 cents an hour increase to the base rate.
I have a couple of questions about that. I don't think at this time we require our security guards to be licensed with SORA, do we?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all of that. What, they're licensed?
Yes, are they licensed with SORA? The Security Officer Registration Act?
Not to my knowledge.
Which offers training and things like that. I'm not sure if other libraries that do it. A lot of places require it. And I don't do anything about it.
Before we proceed, can I ask, is this something we need to speak about in closed session?
I'm not proposing to talk about individuals.
I just want to make sure that we're not
Yeah,
Well,
this is Dominic Brady. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The issue of whether they have the keys or not, or whether they're, what the qualifications are, is okay to discuss. There probably is not, in the job description, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but there's not a requirement that they be certified.
I don't believe there is.
Well, I was just wondering if that is something that, any of the libraries are doing, and if that's something that Edison should perhaps look into. They do offer training regarding, these mass shootings and things like that, and, more safety protocols, and also information, not that we have a large gang problem in Edison, but they do offer things like that.
Quite frankly, I didn't know about the certification until you brought it up, but it's certainly within the director's authority to look into that and to report back to the board.
And I
Yes,
also
that sounds
wonder,
like a good
I
idea.
also think that, $15 an hour is quite low for a security guard, unless you're just having somebody just stand there and shuffle people in and out. If there's anything else you wanted them to do, I would think paying a little bit more would get a better quality of a security guard, and maybe somebody who has prior experience in that instead of say computers or something like that. Just suggesting.
I know that some libraries have had workshops. The most notable one is the Black Belts Librarian. And that's for all sorts of staff, not just security guards, and how to deal with disruptive situations in the library. And I know in Somerset County, we went through active shooter training. I think that occurred here about 2 years ago. I'm not sure. But to my knowledge, nobody's been, there wasn't a requirement for certification for our guards. They do undergo a background check, as do all employees.
Well, I'm not saying that it's definitely necessary. I was just throwing it out there in case it's ever been considered. I'm not even sure if other libraries use it. There are a lot of places that do, but I'm not sure if it's libraries.
We can look into it.
Well, at this point, do we have a motion? I can move that we increase the base pay for security guards, the 3.3% increase, the 50 cents an hour to $15.50.
What are other libraries paying?
Is it going to prorated, or so from the date of 2017 or from now onwards only? Just wanted to check.
That was the 2017 rate. If they had been part of a union, the increase would be larger because those increases have been about 2% per year, and it's 3% this year, I believe.
So we are going to pay for last 3 years, 3.5%? No. From today onwards we are paying, right?
This is just a recognition that they haven't received a pay raise in at least 3 years.
I think it's a little low, to be honest. And I'm usually the opposite, as most of you well know, when it comes to giving out raises. I'm more on the conservative side. But I just think that since they haven't had a raise so long,
okay.
And I think that the salary is a bit low for hopefully an experienced security guard.
So I agree with you.
And what would you suggest?
So what's the base rate now?
$15 an hour.
I'd make it 17.
Yeah, do you think 17.25 would be too much of an increase? Because if you want quality security guards, then you're going to have to give quality money.
You get what
You
you pay.
You don't want somebody who just wants to come and make an easy dollar, or so they think an easy dollar, and not really care about the shit.
Normally, being a security guard is very boring, except when it gets way too exciting.
But the world is changing.
The New Jersey Library Association $14.71 an
Yeah,
hour.
no, in current
Right.
situation, security guard's job will be very important. So we have to make sure what we are paying, we should get, public should get the value. So
I didn't hear what you said.
I really support what she's saying. If you're paying something good amount, then it should be worth of it.
My only question, sorry, this is Lisa. My only question is, if we, let's say we go with the $17 like Fiona suggested, do we have the money to cover it in the budget?
Yes.
I would say this is my suggestion on this one. Instead of like one, large increase, probably better to do it, incrementally. The reason is that he's going to have that kind of expectation that he can work more diligently, and then over 6 months or 1 year, you have the option to do it again. If you just put the rate maybe say 17 or 19 or 20, and next year you don't do the increase, the similar amount of increase, then people will get upset.
Can I just request that everyone who's not speaking mute their microphone? I'm having
Right,
a hard
because
time
there's
hearing.
quite a bit of noise. That's good.
Well,
All right, so where do we stand on this? We definitely want to give an increase, but what kind of increase do we want to give?
One more question. How many security guards do we have currently? Do we have 3?
Yes, 3.
And how
And they
long
were-
have they been with us?
One's been with us for at least 3 years. The other 2 have been hired within the past year.
Oh,
So in the 3 years, the security guard who's been here for 3 years, he has not had an increase in 3 years.
He's getting a little bit above the base rate, but not much.
What is-
Okay. So I think that we should try and pull him up to a higher amount. Where do you want the range to be? You want the range to be around 16 to 17, or you want the range to be 15 to 17, where he gets at the highest because he has been here the longest and hopefully deserves that merit raise?
What I'm proposing is that all 3 guards get a 50-cent an hour raise. So the more senior guard, slightly ahead of the other 2, will remain slightly ahead.
But he hasn't had an increase in 3 years. So wouldn't it be correct for him to get something more than 50 cents? And so it's something the equivalent of what was the cost of living increase over the last 3 years, and then maybe, do a fraction of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm proposing. This is not the equivalent of what those staff who are in the union receive, but it is something.
right.
And just for, I don't know if everybody heard, but
Experience, the one that's been there for 3 years, we give him $1 and we give the other 2 50 cents.
Yeah.
I think
Can I
we
hear-
probably don't. We probably don't. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, David, what are you saying?
I think probably we do the increase for everyone, but don't get it too complicated. I agree with this 50 cents increase for everyone. That's what I'm saying. Otherwise, it's going to be okay. You have to take the other factors and make it more complicated for the director.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was asking. My question was there. We can increase now for 50 cents only. Don't go back years and increase that, because that will create a more problem with the other employees if we have missed something. If you compare with the Amazon's rates and others' rates, what the security guards are getting and the other is getting, so we have to be very careful about that. Otherwise, other employees will get upset. that they're getting less than the security guard. That's what I'm trying to bring it, because it should not happen in a scenario. Even though if we are talking here, but employee talks with each other, and it creates a lot of frustration within the employees.
And this is already
we should
public.
increase the 50 cents for 3 people. That is okay. You increase 50 cents, that is okay. I definitely going to support on it. But if you go for the past years, then little bit I'm concerned about that.
Just
All
for
right, well,
reference,
why don't we continue with at the suggestion of the director, and we can always revisit this in 2021. So let's stick with the original idea of increasing the pay rate by 50 cents to $15.50 an hour. So that motion was made. Do we have a second?
Second.
and that was David?
Yeah.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Aristani? Ms. Krause?
Yes.
Ms. Mead?
Yes.
Mr. Naik?
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Peng?
Yes.
Ms. Ruane?
Yes.
Mr. Yee?
Yes.
Ms. Massey?
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent. Next item in the personnel report is the job description for supervisor of circulation and information technology. And that is a new title, so that needs board approval.
Yes, I'll make a motion. I'll move that we approve the job description for supervisor of circulation and information technology. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Aristani? Ms. Krause?
Yes.
Ms. Mead?
Yes.
Mr. Naik?
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill?
Yes.
Ms. Peng? Ms. Peng? I think she left the meeting. Ms.
Oh.
Ruane?
Yes.
You left the meeting?
She's not listed under the participants at the moment.
Okay. Also, what is Neville just texted me that can someone unmute him?
Who needs to be unmuted?
Neville, he just joined us.
Number?
His phone number is, let me see.
If he's in 6400, he's listed under attendees.
6400. Okay, I will unmute him.
Continuing with the roll call, Mr. Yee?
Yes.
Ms. Peng is back. Ms. Peng, we're voting on the motion to approve the job description for supervisor of circulation and information technology.
Yes.
And Ms. Massey?
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent. And so the last item is about revising the job application form, which is for your information. And that concludes my report.
Excellent, thank you. All right, so we have the next item is our search committee report, and I do want to thank Lisa and Sue and David and Keith for the time that they have put in at our 2 meetings. Hopefully you all had a chance to review the job description that was shared for the library director. And I would like to move that we approve that job description. Do we have a second?
A second.
Oh, yeah. Let me, Nabil can talk now? Oh, he's texting me, so sorry, try to get everyone to be able to talk. Is he unmuted?
No, I'm good.
So,
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Aristani, are you with us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
I just need to record that for the,
Excellent. Neville, we're currently at the director job description. There is a motion on the table to accept the director job description, and now we need a second.
A second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Aristani,
Yes.
Ms. Kraus,
Yes.
Ms. Mead,
Yes.
Mr. Naik,
Yes.
Ms. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Peng,
Yes.
Ms. Ruane,
Yes.
Mr. Yee,
Yes.
Ms. Massey.
Yes.
9 yes. So we will post that internally. I'll try to do it tonight before I leave, and then we will send it on to Lieber Associates for wide distribution according to the list that was given out at the special board meeting 3 weeks ago.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, so we have nothing to report on, nothing further to report on facilities or policies. Negotiation is completed. Do we have any unfinished business?
Not to my knowledge.
No, I don't believe so. And do we have any new business?
Not from me.
Keith, one question for, new thing. Just I wanted to, because I didn't visit after the library opened, which is my mistake. I should have visited. But the floor which was lifted in North Edison, is it still in a good shape?
At North Edison, I'm told it's better by those who work there. There's still a gap there as when I look at it.
So, okay. Yeah, so I think we should have something, somebody to keep eye, and we should, because it's every year it is going down by a few centimeters,
Mm-hmm.
So we need to really keep a close eye on there. That's just I wanted to raise.
There may
Yes,
be
yeah, thank you.
something in the proposed bond issue to do more remediation with that. I'd have to go back and look at the proposal.
I think that we should do it, because it's we don't want any before the winter starts, somebody should not come inside. Gap will increase, and any bug will come inside and create a more problem.
Okay.
Right.
So if you can
Right.
take care, that will be really appreciated. Yeah.
Okay. We'll look into it.
You know what I would like to suggest, that we go into public comment, and while we're waiting for the public to submit any comments, we can, provide any announcements or continue some discussions, since we do have to wait. Does anyone have any announcements that they would like to make?
Yeah, there are a couple of activities are coming. Just I wanted to highlight, but because I'm a little bit concerned about the overcrowding, because on 15th of August there is India Freedom Day. So earlier we used to do some kind of activity in the library, but this year I'm not sure we should be doing it or not. because if overcrowding will happen, it may cause the issue with the kids, and parents. So any vision or anything for the people, because what I see in Metachin, they have put the tents outside, and they're not letting the people come inside for the normal business. I'm not talking about the library specific. So if somebody will propose from the community that they want to do, because we have now the 45% people who are origin from the India, so they definitely they will feel they want to have their Freedom Day there, and because earlier we used to do it, but this year I'm little bit concerned we should do it or not do it, So I just keeping this open for everyone to give the suggestion.
Yeah, it is a difficult time to make any kind of plans for.
Correct. Yeah. That's why I'm a little bit concerned. I think we should cancel. If somebody approach, we should tell them that it's a COVID-19. We are canceling it. We don't want to go and proceed, at least this year. That's my suggestion. Again, I'm
Right.
open for any view.
I'm sorry, what are we proposing to cancel?
No, I'm saying every year, whether it's a China Day or India Day, or any other Black Day or any day, we used to do different functions, right? So on 15th August, there is the India Independence Day is coming up. But we used to do in our libraries, put the different books and all those things. But if we will do it, more crowd will come, and that may create a more problem on the COVID-19 things. So if somebody will approach you, Keith, for doing this, then I think you have to manage that in a way where which should not impact to the public. That's what I'm saying, and I feel at this time, if we can cancel it, it will be nice.
We have we've canceled or told people that we are not using our meeting rooms at least through September, and that's probably going to be extended at least through October, if not further.
Okay.
And when we do start to reopen, it will be for library programs at first, because we can control those. And then that will open it up to public use.
Okay,
so
thank you.
It's a ways off.
Yeah, it should be broadcasted if you can. I know you must have done already, but specifically for the 15th August thing, if you can put some small chit on the door that this year we are not doing because of the COVID-19, it will help.
Okay, we can post notices.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else?
I have not received any emails from anybody on the Edison board at lmxac.org email address.
All right. So then there is no public comment. Are there any other additional announcements that anyone wants to make? I would like to thank the staff and you, Keith, for the way the libraries are open. Everybody seems to be in good form. It's good to see, and we thank you for all of the hard work.
The staff have been very good about this. So.
Yes.
In fact, at North, they're saying we'd like to be open more hours, and at this point, I'm saying we need consistency first. So we're going to stay this way through August, and then after Labor Day, we'll consider looking at extra hours.
Yeah. Take your due diligence, because that is really required, because the way the COVID-19 second round is going on, it's very tough. We are suffering in our business, so that's why I can understand.
Right. It's difficult to make plans with the uncertainty.
Yeah, right.
And we are
And
controlling
thanks,
action.
Pat, for your leadership and all the board members for it, giving good suggestions. So I really appreciate you guys.
Excellent. So do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? I don't think we need a roll call vote.
Yeah. Aye.
Aye. All right, excellent. Listen, thank you and stay safe and we'll be meeting again. Take care.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Stay safe.
Good night.
Yes, stay
Good
safe.
everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.